The budget, well, I think we know one thing for sure, which is Phil Hammond's on the naughty step with Theresa May. The national insurance hiccup or deferral, because it's going to come in, that looks very likely, but in a few months' time.
With self-employed people, we actually pay more than what the employed person does anyway. The only reason the employed person's is higher is because the employer tops the contributions up.
Over 3,000 a year come through our doors, and they're creating livelihoods for themselves because the job market's so difficult.
The way the job market is now, being made redundant twice, you're getting sort of short-term contracts and my money is going backwards instead of forwards. So I'm worse off now than I've ever been, really. So it was just a matter of, well, I've had enough of this, I'm going to try and do this for myself.
The first thing I thought was, they're going after the little fella again. Hang on, who's the easiest target? The little guy, the self-employed guy, so let's raise his.
When you're employed, obviously you've got a set amount of hours, you know exactly how much you're earning, when you're getting paid the same time every month, you plan your whole life around payday, and you've got, you know, your pension contributions, your sick pay, holiday pay, all that sort of stuff. When you're self-employed, you're doing the job, you're doing the service that you provide, but you're also doing your admin, your finances, your PR and marketing. You're doing absolutely everything. You're doing the job of like 4 people.
When you're employed, you get sorts of benefits, like you get maternity pay and also sick pay and stuff like that. So while I don't totally disagree with paying a little bit more, to be paying the same I think is a bit much, because you haven't got the same sort of benefits.
We're helping women starting their business as well as women building bigger businesses. And I think it's always that bottom rung that seems to suffer most.
The comments from the Chancellor saying that we access the same services as everyone else, we should pay for it, and basically putting the spin on it that because we're not paying the contributions, that's why the National Health Service is failing, was just ridiculous.
For those self-employed, earning below £15,000 a year, there's going to be no real impact. In fact, some may actually end up saving some money because the Class 2 national insurance has been withdrawn. But for those earning over that, it will become increasingly painful. Perhaps not immediately, not in the next tax year, but the tax year after, when the second increase bites.
When I think of self-employed people, I think of freelancers. I think of people like myself who struggle. You don't know how much you're going to be earning each month. You don't even know if you're going to make ends meet. There's so much more pressure on people who are freelancers and just trying to get by.
It is just disheartening because it's something else you've got to think about paying.
2% out of your income, yes, people will notice that. And yes, a bit of a kick in the teeth for the self-employed.
It's all smoke and mirrors again, with making out that, you know, it's the little person's fault and it's us not contributing, when that's not actually the case.
If they were able to say, right, you know, all the money that's drawn from your national insurance contributions that we're putting up, we're going to put all that into social welfare, then that would be palatable for me. I don't think it'd be dissipated somewhere else.
Being self-employed is different to being employed. You don't have the same protections. It's tougher, there's no question.
And I think the fact that they're saying, oh, it's only £250 a year, you know, when you're putting that into context with your bills, I actually looked and thought that's like half my water bill for the year that I've got to pay. So it's things like that, you know, it's really unfair to penalise and the smaller person again.
The amount of money this is raising for the government compared to the amount of problems it's causing, it's not a good move.
We're doing the right things, which is what they ask of us, but then that's what we get back in return, basically. So yeah, not happy at all with it, really.
The irony being, of course, that it's the likes of Amazon that might have their rates reduced because they're in out-of-town environments. Square that circle.